My name is Valerie, and I'm 28 years old. There were 3 things I never imagined would derail my entire week: a heavy, cream-colored envelope, a signature that resembled mine a little too closely, and the shocking revelation that my entire family operated like a criminal enterprise. Let me take you back. It was a Tuesday, the sort of Tuesday where you work straight through lunch and fantasize only about quiet and cheap takeout. I stepped into my apartment building, opened my mailbox, and there it sat. Wedged between a utility bill and a pizza flyer was an envelope from Prestige Lending. The cardstock was thick, expensive, the kind that announces wealth without a sound. I tore it open in the lobby. The first thing my eyes landed on was a gold-embossed logo, followed by the words, "Welcome home." Beneath that sat a formal congratulations for securing a $580,000 mortgage on a property in the Oak Haven district. I froze. Oak Haven Historic. Wildly expensive. A place where the houses were worth more than anything I would ever earn. I had never applied for a loan. I had never even visited Oak Haven. I skimmed the page until the closing date punched me in the chest. Tomorrow, at 2 p.m., someone planned to close on a $500,000 home in my name, and according to the documents, I had already signed the initial disclosures. The realization didn't roll over me like a wave. It struck with the sharp, sudden impact of a bullet. This wasn't a clerical mistake. This wasn't a harmless mix-up. This was outright identity theft. And somewhere deep in my gut, I already knew exactly who had the keys to my entire identity. Before I explain how I stopped them, I want to know who's hearing this. Drop a comment with your city and the current time. I want to see how far this story travels. I didn't scream. I didn't call my mother, demanding answers. I walked into my apartment, locked the door behind me, placed the letter on my kitchen counter, and made myself a cup of Earl Grey tea, hot, steadying, necessary, because my world felt as though it were tilting off its axis. Then I sat at my desk and opened my laptop. I'm a paralegal. I spend my days buried in contracts, dissecting clauses, identifying hidden loopholes. Today, that loophole was me. I logged into the National Credit Bureau. My fingers flew with mechanical precision: username, password, security question. When the page loaded, it was all there. A hard inquiry from Prestige Lending 3 weeks earlier. Another from a background check service, and my pristine 800 credit score, now bruised. I clicked the security freeze tab. The site asked if I was certain. Freezing my credit would halt every application, block every loan, lock down my entire financial identity. I clicked confirm without hesitation. Then I repeated the process for the remaining bureaus. 10 minutes later, all 3 of my credit reports were frozen. I filed a preliminary fraud alert with the FTC, and a green confirmation banner lit the screen. The apartment was quiet, and yet I knew I had just detonated a metaphorical bomb. Somewhere in the city, a loan officer was receiving an alert. Somewhere, a realtor was reading an email. And tomorrow at 2 p.m., my sister Samantha would walk into a closing room and collide with the brick wall I had just built. As the adrenaline drained, memories rose slow, heavy reminders of how we got here. I hadn't simply been a daughter. I had been their fixer. Since 16, I handled every piece of paperwork in our household. Lease agreements, traffic ticket research, LLC filings. I did it all. And I never charged a cent. They called it helping the family. I called it rent. I believed my worth was measured by my usefulness. Solve enough problems, earn enough love. It's a trap. That quiet acclamation to cruelty. You start to think being used is affection, and that if you work hard enough, they'll see you as a person rather than a function. They don't. They see a machine. And when the machine malfunctions, they don't troubleshoot, they kick. I stared at the padlock icon next to my credit file. For 12 years, I had been the one unlocking doors for them. Today, for the first time, I had locked one and thrown away the key. The next morning shattered the silence. At 9:03 a.m., while I was organizing a deposition file, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I ignored it. 2 minutes later, it rang again. Then came the text. "Hi Valerie, this is Laura from Prestige Realty. We have a slight hiccup with the final underwriting. Please call ASAP." A hiccup. That's what they called a $580,000 loan smashing into a frozen credit file. I set my phone to Do Not Disturb by 10 a.m. Missed calls were piling up. Emails appeared. Subject line, urgent loan status. Delete. Then the real storm hit at noon. Samantha, my sister, the wellness coach who preached abundance while living off my Netflix password, posted a video. I watched it from my burner account. She stood before a massive Victorian house in Oak Haven, spinning in her flowy linen dress. "You guys," she squealed. "The universe provided. Welcome to the future O'Haven Wellness Center. I manifested this. She filmed a full tour. The foyer, the parlor, the kitchen for vegan workshops. Closing is today, she whispered. Stay tuned for the key ceremony. I checked the comments. Praise everywhere. Manifestation queen. She deserved it. I nearly laughed. So manifestation was the new name for identity theft. My phone rang again. Mom. Then Dad. Then both. Finally, a text from Dad. Valerie, pick up. There's a situation with the bank. They're saying the file is locked. Call them and fix this. We're losing time. Fix this. That old command. The switch they always flipped. Then Mom. This is for your sister's future. We did this for you too. You're a silent partner. This is a family investment. Unfreeze it now. You're ruining the energy. An apology, not an explanation. A reprimand for refusing to be their accomplice. I drafted replies, deleted them all. Silence was louder. By 4 p.m., Samantha called. Her voicemail was frantic. Valerie, seriously. Laura says the loan is dead because of a freeze. Did you do that? Why? Investors are coming tonight. Just sign the papers. Don't be jealous. Jealous? They truly believed that. Mom texted. Just come over. Bring your notary stamp. We'll sign a few things and salvage this. My notary stamp. Locked in my office drawer. If they needed it, that meant they required me to notarize the forged signature, help disguise it. Cold dread hit. This wasn't just credit. This threatened my career. A fraudulent notarization could cost me my license, my freedom. I grabbed my purse and drove straight to see Nathan, fraud prevention specialist, human lie detector. We met at a diner. I opened my laptop and showed him the loan documents I had downloaded. He scanned them, brow furrowing. At the bottom, he pointed. That's supposed to be your signature. It's a good forgery, but the loop on the V is wrong. Scroll. Then he saw the notary section. My official seal. My name, but a scribbled imposter signature beside it. They stole your stamp, Nathan said. When were they last at your place? Sunday dinner. Mom had insisted on seeing my new curtains. She must have taken it. My stomach twisted. They hadn't just taken my credit, they had stolen my credentials. They had set me up, and with Samantha's doomed business plans, that loan would absolutely default. When it did, the bank wouldn't just ask for repayment. They were coming for me. They would discover my signature on a loan I had supposedly taken out myself. Illegal on its own, and they would see fraud stamped across every line. This is a felony, Nathan said, his voice steady. Possession of stolen forgery tools, identity theft, bank fraud. Valerie, you have to report this now before they try to use it again. I nodded, though my hands trembled. Report them. Report my parents. My sister. Lock them up. The thought felt unbearable, like severing a part of myself. Then my phone rang. It wasn't Mom. It wasn't Samantha. It was Aunt Catherine, my father's sister, in Florida, wealthy, kind, though distant. We only spoke at Christmas. I stared at the screen. Why now? I answered. Hello, Valerie. Honey. Her voice was loud, cheerful. I just wanted to call and congratulate you. Your mother told me today was the big day. I froze. Congratulations on what, Aunt Catherine? On the house. The O'Haven house. She beamed. Oh, I'm so happy for you. I know how hard you've worked. Nathan watched me closely. Aunt Catherine, I began slowly. What did my parents tell you? They said you were buying that beautiful Victorian for Samantha as a gift. She replied. A sisterly gift to help her start her business. They mentioned you had the credit but were slightly short on the down payment. My blood ran ice. And what did you do? I asked. Well, I lent them the $50,000, she said. Of course. Wired it last week. Your dad said you were too proud to ask me, so he asked for you? I just think it's so noble of you, Valerie, supporting your sister like that. The diner spun $50,000. They had stolen $50,000 from Aunt Catherine. They had used my name, my reputation, as the responsible one, to scam her own sister. They told her I was the buyer. They told the bank I was the buyer. They told Samantha she was the owner. They had woven a web of lies so tangled I couldn't imagine how they kept it straight. Valerie, are you there? Aunt Catherine asked. I inhaled deeply. Aunt Catherine, I said, my voice shaking. Listen very carefully. I did not buy a house. I did not request money. I had no knowledge of that $50,000. Silence. Then a soft, confused sound. What? Mom and Dad stole my identity, I said. And it seems they stole your money, too. I hung up and turned to Nathan. The fear had vanished, replaced by cold, sharp clarity. They weren't merely desperate, they were predators, hunting everyone in the family. What do you want to do? Nathan asked. I stood. They want me at the vision board party, I said. They want me to bring my stamp. I'm going to give them exactly what they asked for. I went home, didn't change clothes, didn't redo my makeup, straight to my printer. I drafted a document, affidavit of identity theft. Every detail went in: the loan number, the unauthorized inquiries, the stolen notary stamp. I attached the police report I had filed online 10 minutes earlier about the stolen seal. Then I printed Aunt Catherine's voicemail transcript. I placed everything in a single manila envelope. No bow, no card, just the truth. I drove to my parents' rental. It was 7 p.m. The driveway was packed. Samantha's friends, a few cousins, investors, people charmed into giving her $500 here, $1,000 there, funding her empire. I walked up the steps, hearing music, laughter, the scent of expensive candles. I didn't knock. I used the key. I still had the key to the house I'd paid rent on 3 times last year when Dad forgot to transfer the funds. The living room had transformed. White sheets covered furniture, crystals glimmered, and a massive vision board dominated the center. Pictures of the Oak Haven house glued next to Oprah and stacks of cash. Samantha held court, dressed in white, champagne in hand. And this, she said, is the meditation wing. Sound baths every Tuesday. My parents beamed from the corner until they saw me. Silence fell, heavy and suffocating. Valerie, Mom chirped, voice cracking. You made it. Come in, come in. We were just celebrating. She rushed forward, eyes wide, signaling me to play along. Did you bring the thing? She glanced in my purse, searching for the stamp. I brought something better, I said. Voice unnervingly calm. I moved past her to the coffee table, shifted a tray of vegan appetizers aside, and placed the envelope down. What is this? Samantha asked nervously. The deed. Did you surprise us? An affidavit, I said. Murmurs ran through the room. An affidavit of identity theft and a police report for a stolen notary seal. Samantha's smile faltered. What? Dad stepped forward, face red. Valerie, enough. Not here. Let's go to the kitchen. He grabbed my arm. I yanked back. No, we're doing this here, in front of your investors. I turned to the room. My parents and sister used my social security number, my credit history, and my stolen professional credentials to apply for a $580,000 mortgage in my name without my consent. Gasps and whispers. Samantha dropped her glass. It shattered on the hardwood, yet no one moved. They also, I continued, looking at Dad, called Aunt Catherine and lied, claiming I was buying the house as a gift, tricking her into wiring $50,000. Money that I assume is still in your bank account. Dad's face went from red to white. That's a lie, he sputtered. That's family business. It's wire fraud, I corrected, and grand larceny, and bank fraud. I have frozen the loan. The deal is dead. The house is gone. And if you use my name again for anything, I will press charges. Samantha screamed a raw, furious sound. You ruined it. You ruined everything. I promised clients you have lies, I said. A vision board and a stolen credit score? Mom started crying, the weaponized tears I knew so well. How could you do this to us? We sacrificed everything for you. We fed you, raised you, and this is how you repay us, by humiliating us. I looked at her, really looked, cognitive dissonance. She didn't see a criminal. She saw a victim. In her mind, my credit, my license belonged to the family. My refusal to let them use it was theft. They couldn't see me as separate, just a malfunctioning appliance. Broken appliances get unplugged. I'm leaving, I said. The police have the report about the stamp. The bank has the fraud alert. Aunt Catherine knows the truth. I suggest you use that $50,000 to hire a lawyer. You'll need one. I turned and left. Behind me, Samantha sobbed. Dad shouted. Investors shuffled toward the door, demanding their money back. I walked to my car, drove to a hotel, needing neutral ground. Phone off. For the first time in 12 years, I wasn't wondering if I had fixed things. I wasn't worrying about leases, tickets, or loans. It was all broken, and I was the one who broke it, and it felt right. The fallout was total. The loan was permanently denied. The Oak Haven sellers sued for breach of contract, but the fraudulent application voided it. Samantha was publicly shamed on social media. Her investors realized there was no wellness center, no capital, nothing. She deleted her accounts and moved in with a friend. My parents faced a harsher reality. Aunt Catherine threatened FBI involvement unless her $50,000 was returned. They sold cars and dipped into their meager retirement. Jail was barely avoided. The bridge with extended family burned to ash. No one would lend them a dime, again. As for me, I sent a formal cease and desist letter, changed my phone number, and moved to a new apartment in a different part of the city, with a doorman and security system. Surrounded by boxers in my quiet new living room, no one demanding signatures or fixes, I opened my laptop. The credit freeze remained a little lock icon safeguarding my future. I realized then, family isn't about blood, it's about who respects your blood enough not to bleed it dry. I had lost my parents, I had lost my sister, but I had found myself, and staring around my empty, peaceful apartment, I knew I would make that trade 1,000 times over. If you've ever had to fire your own family to save yourself, share this story. You are not alone.